Okay, cool, guys. Good morning, everyone, and welcome as always. Um, so today's class, we're going to be doing some strength and toning work amongst some of our usual poses and sun salutations. And we're going to start lying down today. So you're going to come down onto your back. And once you're down on your back, just stretch your legs straight out on the floor. Sink your shoulders down into the mat. Flex your ankles. Squeeze your big toes and your heels together. So feet are flat as if you're standing on the floor. Now keep your left leg where it is and bring your right knee into your chest. So once you're holding onto your shin or your knee or the back of your thigh, squeeze in nice and tight and sink those shoulders down into the mat. At the same time, push into your left heel, like really stretch through the left leg into that left heel. Relaxing into your neck. And each time you breathe out, squeeze your knee in, thigh in, a little bit closer to the right side of your chest. And then stretching your right leg out on the ground, feet touch each other, then change and bring the other knee up. Once again, drop those shoulders and upper arms down towards the floor and push that right heel. Like really stretch into the right heel. Allowing your tummy to melt down towards the ground each time you breathe out. And then stretching your left leg straight on the ground. Now we interlace fingers, turn your palms towards your toes, squeeze your big toes in together, still flexing ankles, and let's get into the shoulder warm up. So as you breathe in, arms go up over your head. As you breathe out, arms come back down, palms facing your feet. Do a few of those moving with your breath. And each time your arms lift over your head, don't worry if your hands or arms can't touch the floor. You just go as far as is comfortable for your shoulders. And it's absolutely fine if your back starts to arch, the lower back arches and the rib cage arches as the arms go up. Maybe your lower back is even off the floor, but don't lift your bum. And we'll lift and lower the arms one more time. Next time your arms come down your sides, you can release your hands, drop the arms and hands to the floor. And bending your knees up. And take feet to the sides of the mat. Roll your knees left to right. So we're moving with breath. Exhale to roll the thighs, knees and shins down. In breath, rolling back up to point to the sky. Just check in with your neck and relax your neck and your throat muscles. And now next time your knees and thighs lift, so keep them there. Bring your feet back in, so bring them to hip distance apart this time. And let's stretch out the backs of the thighs and the outer hip. Right ankle to left thigh. Lift your left foot off the ground, holding onto that left leg, either the thigh or the shin, or if you prefer, stretching your legs straight up. And now just check the alignment of your upper body. Are you leaning more to your left or your right shoulder? Are you leaning your body weight more to your left or your right lower back? Sometimes a way to find that out is to just gently rock a little bit from side to side, not big rocks, just almost just shifting from left to right, not so much rocking, and then try and find the midpoint between those two shifts from side to side, both in the shoulders and the lower back. Right, now keep your right foot where it is. Bend the left knee, take left foot down to the floor, and then change over. Right foot down, left ankle to right thigh, lifting the right leg. So your right knee can stay bent, or you can stretch it straight. That's up to you. Preferably holding onto that right leg if you can. If you can't hold it with your hand, you can always use a strap or a belt around your shin or the back of the thigh. And once again, just check that balance of weight across the lower back from left to right and across the upper back and the shoulder blades from side to side. Find the midpoint where your body feels completely balanced rather than tilting to one side or the other. Okay, now keep your left foot where it is. Bend the right knee if it's straight. Take your right foot down to the floor and then left foot down to the ground. And we're going to stretch the legs straight again. Feet together, so heels and big toes touching. And now we're going to alternate knee to chest. And if you want to add in knee to forehead, you can do that as well. So on an exhale, bringing right knee into your chest. As you breathe in, stretch your leg onto the floor. As you exhale, you change sides, left knee to chest, and then as you inhale, stretch straight. If you want to, you add in forehead to knee. Make sure you're moving with your breath. It's an out breath to bring the knee up and to bring your forehead towards your leg. Stretching both legs straight on the floor for a fraction of a second between each side. And if you're doing the version where you're lifting your head, try to keep your neck muscles relaxed. Don't strain in the neck. Squeezing in nice and tight with your hands into that leg as it lifts. Just keep going with the breath, guys, side to side. I'm going to do one more to each leg in your own time. And after you've done those two, you're going to bring both knees to your chest and hug your knees or your shins or hold onto backs of thighs with your hands. And you're welcome to rock side to side. So relax the chest again and drop those shoulders down. Okay, if you're rocking, come back to center. And we're going to drop feet onto the floor with the feet touching each other and the knees bent. From here, we're taking a twist. Stretch your right leg out straight on the ground and then twist left thigh over the right leg. Flatten down into your shoulders. Flatten into your upper back. Relax both sides of the neck and point your nose straight up. If you want to turn your head, nose turns to the left, not the right. And we roll up to center. Stretch the left leg straight on the ground. Bend your right knee up. Twist the right thigh over. And once again, just sinking shoulders, sinking the upper arm bones, flatten the upper back on the ground. Relax into your breath. And then untwisting yourself and lifting up to center. Stretch both legs out on the floor. And now we're going to alternately lower one leg from 90-degree lift. Okay, now with your arms, there are options. If you have a super arch in the lower back, like I do, you're welcome to have your palms face down underneath your bum, but then make sure that your hands are closer to your lower back than towards the backs of your thighs. Okay, don't have your hands too low down towards your legs. The option is just arms on the floor, palms face up then. That's palms up to stop the shoulders from hunching and crunching up. If you're feeling strong, you can reach your arms over your head and you have your palms up. Okay, and then again, you got to make sure you're not straining your neck or your shoulders. So we're lifting legs up to 90 degrees, and you can have your knees a bit bent. That's absolutely fine. And now, guys, it goes one leg down, one leg up, then you change sides. Don't scissor halfway. Um, and just be careful with taking legs straight to the floor. So you want to be just above the ground with your leg. Don't take it to the ground. And keep pressing your lower back down. Okay, so here we go. It's 1 minute. So moving with breath on an exhale, one leg goes down as you breathe in, coming up, or the other way around, breathing in to lower, breathing out to lift. So feel what feels best for you to get those core muscles engaged and those abdominal muscles engaged. Squeeze your lower back flat down into the ground and don't let it lift. No arching of the lower spine. Check in with your neck and soften the neck muscles. Relax your mouth. Relax your face. Squeeze your tummy tight and push down firmly with your arms and your shoulders. Do not let those shoulders lift off the ground because that's going to tighten your neck. And you really don't need to tighten your neck here. Squeeze the tummy down. Keep going with your breath side to side. Okay, one more to each leg. After you've done the one more on each side, then you can hug your knees into your chest again. Okay, now from here, we're going to drop the feet to the floor once more. Keep your knees bent, feet and your knees and your thighs touching. And then we're going to come into eagle legs and we're going to do our eagle crunches. So you take your right thigh over your left thigh, left arm under the right arm in eagle arms. And we go with the breath. We're doing 5 to each side, so you can count your own 5. Or if you don't do 5, you can do 4. That's okay, but then make sure you do 4 on each side. Um, so it's on and out breath. We crunch up, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. We hold as you breathe in. You lower on an out breath. You stay down on an in breath. So we're moving on the exhales, holding on the inhales. Okay, so taking a deep breath. On an exhale, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Hold as you breathe in. On an exhale, lowering down. Count in your own time. Squeeze it up, pressing lower back flat into the ground as you hold. So it's no holding the breath, it's only holding the shape. Really squeeze with the breath. Use those breaths to help you get strong. And then after you've done your 5, we untwist the arms, untwist your legs, cross your left thigh over your right, wrap your left arm under your right arm, and then we go again. So deep breath in. On an exhale, you lift elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Hold as you breathe in, lower as you breathe out. You keep going. Once again, don't let that neck tighten. You don't need tension in your neck here. That's not going to help you tone or strengthen your abs. Really squeeze down with the lower back as you lift. After you've done your 5 on your each side, you untwist your legs, take your feet to the side of the mat, roll your thighs left to right again. Okay, guys, so next time you point your knees up, you'll stay there. Bring your feet in to touch each other again, keeping knees bent. We're to cross the left thigh over the right and take a twist. So we've got left leg on top. That means knees drop to the right. Both your shoulders stay on the ground. We keep trying to take hips to twist to the right, chest to face the roof. And don't force it, guys. Be gentle on yourself in your twists, particularly when we're just warming up. Each exhale sinks the back of your head. Then we roll legs up to center. And you're going to untwist and bring feet and knees to touch each other and take it to the other side. Right thigh over your left. Drop your knees to the other side. Right leg is on top, means knees go to the left. And then again, just check that you haven't now lifted your right shoulder. Push it flat into the mat. Upper arm flat into the floor. Good, guys. Rolling yourself back up to center, untwisting your legs. We're to hug knees to chest. And from here, we're making our way up to sitting. So rock yourself all the way up. If you can't do cross ankles, it's legs straight out in front of you with big toes touching. Lift your heart up high, draw your shoulders to your spine, and we're twisting around to the right. So just cross leg twists. Okay, so for anyone who's joined before after we started the class, focus of our class today is toning and strengthening. Let the knees drop and relax your feet. And now keep your back up tall and straight. Slowly untwist head, shoulders, chest, rib cage. And we change the legs, cross the other leg in front. And from there, twisting around to the other side. So we're turning to the left. Once more, sink those knees. Each in-breath, chest lifts. Sides of the neck lengthen up as well. And then uncircling yourself again. Okay, so we're going to stretch legs straight out and we're going into another toning for pelvic floor and abs and core. So guys, remember core muscles are also your back muscles. All the muscles in your back are your core muscles, but particularly the ones on the spinal column, right? And there's so many of those little muscles. They need to be strong. All right, so I'm going to demo for you and then we'll all do it together. And when you're doing this next thing, I want you to be super, super aware of your shoulders, guys, because it's very easy to crunch the shoulders to chest here. So you just got to keep checking every few seconds. You got to keep checking that you're not taking the shoulders forward. You're going to keep the shoulders back. And the shoulders coming forward has to do with the way that your upper body's placed. So we're going to come onto forearms with the palms down, but then the legs are going to be up, right? Our legs are going to be into the air. Now, when your legs are in the air, I want you to try and get this part, your sacrum, like your lower back, not your middle back. Your little back is going to curl off the floor. I want you to try and flatten this lower back onto the ground as much as you can. That's the action that contracts your pelvic floor muscles. Okay, so essentially that's what you're doing. You're tucking your bum under while you're lying on the floor. That action pops your shoulders towards your chest. So careful you don't have shoulders too much towards your chest. Okay, so it's going to be legs in the air at a 45-degree angle, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bend one knee and lower the other leg down to just above the mat, and then we come back up to 45. Okay, so alternating, so you take your legs to 45 degrees, squeeze your shoulders to your spine, and then try and flatten your lower back towards the ground and keep going. I see most of you have started. Okay, now we go with the breath. Either exhaling to lower, inhaling to lift, or the other way around. Check that belly button, squeeze it back, push your lower back towards the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't touch, just keep pushing back as if you're trying to get it there. Don't lift those legs too high. Okay, squeeze your shoulders towards your back again. Check in with your neck, lengthen your neck. And then try and flatten that lower back towards the floor once more. Keep breathing. You're going to do it one more on each leg. And then bend both knees and take feet to the floor. Walking back up onto your hands. Good, well done, everyone. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. And we're taking a twist. Right knee bends up. Step your right foot over your left thigh and circle around. You're turning towards your bent knee, not the other way. Unless you're pregnant, then you twist in the opposite direction. A stretch into left heel. Pull those left toes up. And once more, take your shoulders on both sides back to your spine. Spread the chest open. Keep lifting your chest and your upper back up high as you untwist. And we change legs. Right leg straight, left foot over the right thigh. Circle around to the other side. And sink down nice and heavy into both sits bones. Don't lean more into your right bum than your left, or the opposite way. Nice and balanced in the pelvis. Stretching right heel forward, pulling toes up. And keep lifting the spine, keep lifting your head as you untwist. And from here, we're heading onto all fours, guys. So roll over onto hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, take some cats and cows. In breath to look forward, out breath to tuck your chin up. And as you round your spine, press your feet down into the mat even more. But don't let the soles of the feet tense. So we're pushing toes and tops of the feet down, trying to keep the soles of the feet soft. Okay, now we're coming back into a flat spine. And you're going to be lifting and lowering one knee out to the side. So keep those arms straight. Squeeze your belly tight. With an inhale, left leg lifts. As you breathe out, lower down. And then keep going. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Keep going. Squeeze your tummy tight. Okay, check those arms. Both arms straight. Okay, now next time your leg lifts, we're going to hold it there. Again, shoulders square, elbows straight. Try not to have your knee higher than your foot or your foot higher than your knee. You want to have your calf parallel to the floor if possible. Good, guys. And then knee down to the ground. Right, adjust your hands if you need to. Make sure that they're not turned out. And then we take it straight over to the other side. We lift and lower the right leg. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, or the opposite breath, but make sure you're going with the breathing. Tummy squeezing tight, and keep checking your arms. Don't bend the elbows. Okay, if you bend your elbows, it's going to tighten your neck. It's going to compromise and tighten your upper back. Don't need to do that. Great. Next time you lift, you hold it. Doesn't matter how high or low that you're holding, just hold it up where you can. Again, both elbows straight. Keep breathing. Try not to have your foot higher than your knee. That's when your muscles stop working. Okay, and we're bringing knee down to the floor. Knees under hips. Take your arms forward, baby down dog. If you need to, you drop forearms and elbows to the ground. Otherwise, if you can, stretch those elbows straight. We check in with your feet. Make sure toes are not coming together. Calves are parallel. Toes point straight back behind your knees. It's also okay if your toes are tucked under. Making your way back up onto your hands. Good, guys. And then we're heading into downwards facing dog. Tuck those toes. Lift the hips. Stretch it all the way back. From down dog, walking your feet up to your hands. And we come into standing forward bend. And you can pedal your knees, or you can keep your knees bent, or you can sway your upper body. Do whatever feels good here. Just make sure big toes and baby toes, inner heel and outer heel are on the mat. You're not lifting any of the four corners of the feet. From here, let's float up to standing on your inhale. Arms lift and exhaling them down. We're going to move straight into some sun salutations. Get a little bit warmer. On your next in-breath, reach arms up over your head. On your exhale, forward fold. As you breathe in, half lift, stretch your chest forward. Keep breathing as you take feet back to the back of the mat in down dog. Either staying in down dog or on your in-breath, come forwards to plank. If you need to, you drop your knees as you lower, as you breathe out. On an inhale, chest lift, cobra or upwards facing dog, and then back to your down dog. Relax your neck and hang your head. The nose points back towards your knees. From down dog, we'll look forwards, take your feet to your hands. When you get to the top of the mat, sink down deep. And on an in-breath, we'll lift, arms over your head, staying standing as you breathe out, arms come down. Good, guys. Straight back up with your next inhale. As you breathe out, forward fold. On an in-breath, lift your chest, stretch your spine, and then take yourself back to your down dog. From down dog, if you're not staying in your down dog, you come forwards on an inhale, lowering down as you breathe out. On your inhale, lift chest and shoulders into your back bend, and then pressing back to hold your down dog again. Once more, relax your neck, Hang your head. Relax all the muscles in your face. Taking feet forwards to hands. And with your breath, lift all the way up. And release the arms down on an exhale. Okay, so guys, we're going to be possibly needing blocks or hands on a chair or hands on some kind of something. Um, if you don't have any support, anything, that's absolutely fine. You can always do this with bent knees and fingertips on the ground. Don't do it hovering, arms in the air. Okay, so your support, if you're going to need one, is towards the top of your mat. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. So back up at the top of your mat. With an inhale, lift your arms all the way up. As you breathe out, forward fold. With a half lift your chest and step your right leg back into a lunge. Get your left knee over your left heel and wiggle your right toes all the way back so you can lift your right heel up. And we're balancing on the right hand and taking a twist. Left arm up to the sky. Either arm up or hand on your hip. Stretch long through the top of your head. And then release your left arm down, and we're going to drop the back knee down. Chest comes up into your low lunge, and we're reaching arms back. So clasp or interlace fingers. And just keep taking your shoulders back to your spine. Just make sure your front heel is still under your front knee so that knee joint is safe. Okay, great, guys. We're taking hands down. You lift the back knee up. Step your right foot forwards. And then we're taking it straight to the other side, left leg back. As you step back, make sure that your right shin and heel are directly under your knee. And we're taking the twist. Sorry, left hand down, right arm up to the sky, or right hand on your right hip. Make sure that that left wrist is under your shoulder. So just like you have heel directly under your front knee, wrist should be directly underneath that shoulder so that the arm is weight bearing, not the shoulder joint. And from here, right arm comes down, left knee to the ground, low lunge. Check the placement of the front heel hasn't shifted. Sometimes the knee goes a little bit forward when you drop the back knee, and then arms back, find your hands again. Keep squaring your hips and your chest to the front of your mat. And then let go of your hands. We're stepping forwards to the top of the mat. And this is where you may or may not need your hands on a support. So if you can get your hands up onto something, it's better than being on the ground because it actually forces you to engage those pelvic floor muscles more. If your fingers are on the ground, then we tend to take it more into legs and more into the back, not get so much into the strengthening. So your support round about underneath your shoulder line, not back towards your toes. And it's fine if you have both hands on one thing or both hands on a chair, seat. Okay, if you're lucky enough to have blocks, then hands under your shoulders on your blocks. Okay, now we're going to do what we did on hands and knees. So keep your right leg straight. Keep your left knee in line with your right knee and just bend the left knee and lift your shin parallel to the floor. Then we squeeze the thighs together and they touch. And like you did on hands and knees, we're going to lift and lower to the side. So with your breath, knee and foot go up, and then lowering with your breath. And you keep going. So as you do this, depending on how balanced the strength is in your muscles in your torso, you might want to lean your weight into your right arm. Try not to do that. Try and keep your body centered. So that will be more pronounced if you have your two hands on separate blocks. If you've got your hands on one support, more underneath your throat, then you will be more centered. If you need to, you bend your right knee here. Okay, guys, now next time that knee goes up, we'll hold it there. And once more, try not to dip the knee and lift the foot, because then you really don't need to do this. It's not doing anything for you. You don't have to go super high. And once again, check that you're balanced in your shoulders. And keep breathing. Try not to bend the elbow on one side. Keep the arms the same. It's really good for your bum, guys. Okay, we're going to bring knee to knee and then left foot to the ground. If you need to, you pedal out. If you need to lift up, you can lift up. Okay, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So we've got feet under hips. You keep your left leg where it is, or the other leg that you were standing on. Lift your calf, so you bend your right knee into a right angle, and then we lift and lower. Once more, moving with the breath. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, all the other way around. Try to keep knee and heel on the same height rather than dipping your knee lower than your foot. As on the other side, if you need to, your standing knee can bend. Don't hold your breath. Check in with the arms, square the shoulders. Try not to let one elbow bend. Okay, now next time your leg goes up, we'll hold it there. Check knee and foot around about the same height. Again, you don't have to go super high. Each exhale, squeezing your tummy tight. Keep the breath flowing. And then bringing your leg down and foot down. On an inhale, float yourself all the way up to standing. Exhaling, arms down. And then inhale, reach your arms up again. On your exhale, forward fold. Hands onto your support or fingertips on the ground. So we're to balance on right leg. And left leg is going back into warrior three. So we're trying to take the left leg parallel to the floor. Toes and knee point to the ground. That's great, guys. Oh, you guys are awesome. You've all got square hips. Vinny, drop your left hip just slightly. Yes, perfect. Keep stretching your chest forwards, trying to flatten your spine. That's good. Squeeze the inner thighs. Okay, awesome. Lowering that foot down. Pedal your knees if you need to, or pedal the heels. And then make sure your feet are parallel, and we'll take it to the other side. Squeeze your tummy. Try not to drop your chest too low. Lift the right leg up. As that leg goes up, knee and toes point to the ground. Don't look back towards your standing leg, look straight down. And that's it. Again, Vinny, just drop that right hip. Okay, everyone else, you're good. Keep breathing, squeezing tummy tight. And if you need to bend standing leg, you can. Keep that lifted leg high as you can without tilting hips. Well done, everyone. Stepping your foot down and take yourself back into downwards facing dog. And you come down onto your shins and watch a moment. So we're going to do some arm strengthening here, guys. And I want you to be super aware of your shoulders, that you don't dip shoulders. So when you go down, don't dip your shoulders lower than your elbows. What we're going to do is we're going to do our down dog press ups, plank press ups. We're going to do 5, 4, 5. You count for yourself. Don't dip those shoulders. We don't want shoulders to go lower than the elbows ever. Okay. Because then you lose the strengthening in the upper back, you lose the strengthening in the arm muscles, and all you're doing is tightening fronts of shoulders. So be super careful with that. I'll demo one for you. Okay, and we're going to do it with knees down, not with knees off the ground. So we're just starting down dog. We come forwards to plank on an inhale. We exhale the knees down. Then taking shoulders to elbow height. Push the arms straight. Push back to down dog. We haven't done these for ages. So definitely not done them this year. All right. So we'll make our way back into down dog. And then we go. So it's forwards to plank, shoulders over wrists, knees drop. You keep breathing as you take shoulders to elbow height, no lower than that, pushing the arms straight again, and then back to your down dog. You keep going in your own time. So when you come forwards and you lower, you want to take your chest forwards. You're not trying to take your head between your hands. You're trying to take your chest down towards the midpoint between your hands, but then obviously not touching the ground. Check that you're moving with breath. Always moving with the breath. Okay, so once you've done your 4 or 5, we're going to drop knees to the floor. We come down for a rest. Toes together, knees wide. Well done, guys. Stretch your arms straight over your head. Elbows can drop to the floor. So keep your left arm stretching forwards. Take your right arm under your chest. The outer upper arm is down. Right palm faces up. Turn your nose to point to your right fingers. And then sink back into your hips. Left elbow can be straight or bent over your head, but palm is on the floor. So this is a nice stretch to do after you do anything on your arms, your upper arms. This is particularly a stretch for your triceps, over the shoulder joint, your deltoids, and into your upper back. Usually when we're doing arm work, we're also doing upper back work. Let's change it to the other side. Right arm forwards, change and take left arm under. Turn your face to the other side as well. and twisting yourself, and you can lift up and have a look. So we're going to be going into a forearm dog or our power down dog. I'm going to come in so you can see the arm alignment. You're going to be interlacing your fingers. You're going to have your elbows as wide as your shoulders, not wider. And then, guys, make sure that this part of your wrist stays on the ground. Don't do that. Don't have baby finger down and then the elbow down and you have this part curving off the ground. This whole part of the wrist has got to be flat on the floor. And then you're going to squeeze your hands shut. Don't have the hands kind of open like that. Squeeze your palms shut completely. And so I know some of you are really strong in this, so I'm going to time you 2 minutes. You stay in it for as long as you can. So watch, we're going to start on shins, and then you take elbows about as wide as shoulders. Some people like to hook fingers over elbows. It's not really precise, but it does work for some people to get shoulder width apart. And then you clasp your hands shut, interlace your fingers, squish your wrists into the ground, toes tuck, knees lift. Okay, so go for it. And I'm starting to time from now. So there are options here for your head. You can look at the ground between your elbows or round about that point and try to relax your neck. Or you can let your head hang. Some people hang the head, and if you've got a long neck, then the top of your head will be on the floor. That's kind of okay, but make sure you're not resting your weight in your head. So the weight here is fully into your arms. Don't turn it into a headstand. That's half a minute. Now squeeze your fingers in, squeeze your palms in even tighter. So the more you squeeze the hands and fingers in, and particularly fingers and thumbs and index fingers, the more your biceps will fire up, the easier it will be to hold it here. Make sure that you're breathing. Okay, if you can keep going, that's 1 minute. Press the forearms down. Press forearms down firmly into the floor and check those wrists. Squeeze your tummy tight. Whole body is strong, but relax the back and sides of your neck. Okay, if you can, you keep going. That's 1.5 minutes. And it always helps to squeeze the fingers a little bit tighter, and then those biceps again will wake up and give you more power. Keep breathing, guys. You have 15 seconds to go. Okay, well done, everyone. 2 minutes. Coming all the way down onto your mat, and we're going to lie flat on your stomach. Hands under forehead, elbows out to the side. Need to take a little shoulder stretch here. Slide your left knee up the floor towards your left elbow. So left knee comes up towards left elbow. Reach your right arm out to the right, palm face down. Spread your right fingers on the floor. And then slide your left hand around to in line with the left side of your chest, palm face down, elbow points to the roof. You're going to push onto that left hand, roll over onto your right hip, and you can have your left foot on the floor with the left knee pointing up. Maybe your head is on the ground, maybe it's not. If your head is lifted, try to lengthen through both sides of your neck. And you might want to step your left foot to behind your right thigh. Then you might be on your tippy toes, or you might have the foot flat. Just check in with your right hand. Make sure all 5 fingers are flat on the ground. And guys, please, if this is too much for you, don't do it. And you can always roll out and just stay with forward on hands. And let's roll it over onto your tummy. Once more, hands under forehead, both legs straight back behind you. So we're sliding right knee up the floor towards your right elbow. And then taking your left arm out to the left, palm face down in line with your left shoulder. Right hand slides around to the right in line with the right side of your chest. Lift your right elbow, pointing it to the sky. So right hand is on the floor, elbows up. Right, and then we push into that right hand and roll over onto your left hip. So right chest lifts, right knee lifts. Bring your right foot onto the floor. And again, your head might lift. And try not to strain your neck. Maybe stepping your right foot behind your left thigh with the knee pointing up. And carefully rolling yourself out, back onto the front of your body. And from here, we're coming up to sitting. Stretching both legs straight out in front of you. Thighs touching, big toes touching, feet flexed. And bringing your right foot up to the inside of your left thigh. Let's take a forward fold here. When you're ready, reaching for your left shin or hands to the floor, or if you have a strap, strap around the foot or holding onto the edges of your foot. Just check in with your upper body. You're not leaning your weight to your left shoulder, your left waist and ribs. Balance the weight out across your chest, the two shoulders. Try to square your chest off. And then sink deeper into the right thigh and the right knee. We're coming all the way up. Stretch right leg straight, left foot to inside of right thigh. And when you're ready, tipping forwards to the other side. Keep that right foot flat. Don't flop it to the side. Toes point straight up and the ankle flexed. Just like the other side, check your upper body weight. Don't lean more into the left shoulder or the right shoulder. Nice and even and balanced in the upper body. Okay, guys, coming all the way up. Both legs straight. Your choice, either feet together or feet a little bit apart, or legs nice and wide for our last forward bend before your rest pose. So you do which version of the forward fold feels good to you. And then make sure you're not looking back at your chest or towards your thighs. Look straight down to your shins or towards your ankles. If you're a little bit higher, you look towards your feet. Now check in with your breathing. Each exhale, soften into your shoulders, soften into your chest. Good, guys. We're coming all the way up, and we're going to make our way down onto backs for our rest pose. If you want to do legs up the wall, go for it. Once you're down on your back, if you feel like it, you can hug your knees or do a happy baby or any last other thing that you feel you need to do before you fully let go and relax. And once you're down on your back, fully relaxing down through your whole body. Notice your breath, and each time you breathe out, sink your shoulders, sink deeper into the back of your head. Relax your eyes and your eyelids. Relax into your cheeks and your mouth. With each out breath, feeling your body drop deeper into the floor. Each out breath, releasing just a little bit more tension until your whole body feels completely heavy, completely relaxed. Now notice your breath again. You send that breath down into your fingers and your toes. If you have your legs up the wall, you can bend your knees and slide the feet down. And start to wiggle your fingers. Start to wake up hands and feet. And taking a deep breath and reach your arms out and stretch or hug your knees. If you're ready to lift yourself up, make your way up to sitting. Pause there for a moment. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Namaste, everyone.